Good evening, and welcome to our first Waterside chat. Thank you for joining me tonight. Um, Tonight, for our first Waterside chat, you might be able to tell that I am in front of Lake Ossipee in Freedom, New Hampshire, here at Camp Calumet. And I wanted to start the series here because this is my favorite place on earth. It is the place that gives me peace. It is the place that I come to for refreshment and rest. It's the place where my family comes every August for vacation. And recently, some of you also know that I took some time off. And it was to this place that I came to be, actually just down the street where our good friends from church, the Russos, have a house. So thanks to them for allowing us to use their house. But I came to this spot. Um, and it was the first time in my ministry that I felt kind of a real need to have some time off. I love my job. More accurately, I would say I love my calling. I'm blessed enough to be one of the few people who go to work and it just doesn't feel like work. I love what I do. I love being a pastor. And the reason I love it is because I get to be with people. I get to be with people in all the areas and times of their lives. And I love to share the grace of God and God's love with people. However, during this time, for me, it's been harder to do, right? I get my energy from being with people, and I can't be with people like I want to be. So I felt drained these last couple of months. Additionally, as all of you know, the decisions that people have to make during this time are hard. They weigh heavy on us. Like, do we go out to eat? Do we visit our family? Do we travel to see the people that we love? How do we go on vacation? And of course, in our church, we're struggling with these issues too. When do we come back to worship in person? When do we open our school with one heart? And what does that even look like in these times? All of those things were weighing heavy on me, and I needed some time away. And so I wanted to have my first fireside chat be about the importance of taking a break. And in religious terms, we often talk about this as the importance of Sabbath. And I think that we, and including myself, have misunderstood this for a long time because we thought about Sabbath as simply going to church. You know, it's funny because when I see people in the supermarket on a Sunday and they haven't been in worship that morning, they find it necessary to kind of explain themselves. And it usually goes something like this: "Oh, Pastor, I would have been in worship this morning, but I worked all week and the kids are sick and I'm just so tired." And I always say the same thing. I say, we all need a Sabbath. Now, Sabbath may include worshiping God, but at its core, it's about something different. And Sabbath is about taking time off, having at least one day during the week when we're not working or doing anything, having a day to ourselves, having a day for our family and friends, having time to refresh our souls. And in that time off is when we discover and rediscover ourselves in God. I know also that this is one of the commandments, right? Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. And when we hear that commandment, I think what we think about is, I'm being ordered by God to do something. But all of the commandments are more than that. They are gifts to us, and maybe especially this one. What a great gift. Because in our world, we're not taught the value of time off. We have an expression in our country, right? Time is money, meaning that we have to be working all the time. And we often give lots of credit to those people who overwork. We say, that person's a really hard worker. We don't think, on the other hand, that perhaps, that person really needs a Sabbath. Sabbath is important because we can't work all the time. And if we do, we will literally go crazy. Let us just think about Sabbath from the biblical perspective. The Ten Commandments were given to Moses on Mount Sinai. And this was after Israel had been set free from slavery by God. Now, if you had been a slave in Egypt where you were forced to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, without a break, how would this commandment sound to you? It wouldn't be a burden. It would be a gift. God doesn't want you to work that much. It's too much. Take a break, relax, and refresh yourselves. And in that refreshment, you find God. I remember one time in our confirmation class, we were talking about this commandment, and one of the kids said to me, "Oh, Pastor, I would love to take some time off. I never get to rest. I have sports, school, homework, church, clubs." Not only were we working ourselves to death, but we've been working our kids like crazy. And sometimes we don't even see it. Maybe because we don't see it in ourselves. We feel guilty for taking time off, or time to ourselves. I know I do. I know I've had how hard people are working in the world. Who am I to deserve time off? This is another thing about Sabbath rest, is that in our world it's often not very fair. When I was in an internship in a poor section of Philadelphia, I remember talking to one of the members about me going on vacation. And they said to me, Vicar, I don't get vacation. I got to work all the time. I got to pay the bills. It showed me my own privilege. God meant this commandment actually to be for everyone, regardless of income. It was meant to show us that we all need a break. And if we don't get a break, our own mental health is at stake. No wonder people who work all the time don't have good mental health. As Wendell Berry once wrote, Sabbath observance invites us to stop. It invites us to rest. It asks us to notice that while we rest, the world continues without our help. It invites us to delight in the world's beauty and abundance. Sabbath helps us remember something really important. We are not God. The universe does not revolve around us. It's an important part of why God gives us Sabbath rest. In fact, we remember that in the Bible, in creation, God rested on the seventh day. Even God rests. Jesus often needed time away to recharge so that he was ready for his mission. In our Sabbath, we encounter holy things about ourselves, about God, about the world. And it gives us the power to go out and continue to be God's people in a complex world. Now, Sabbath rest is countercultural, and it reminds us that there's more to life than work. Sabbath rest reminds us that God just didn't create the world so that we could work. God made us for play and enjoyment of all that God has made. The Sabbath is a gift from God that revives our soul. I was reminded of that gift recently when I was on vacation. My hope for all of you this summer is that you get to get some Sabbath rest, that you're able to tune out all the difficult decisions you have to make every day, that you're able to unplug from working, and in that time that you find God's gift to you, that you reconnect with yourself and God. I thank you for being here tonight. Thanks to Camp Calumet for allowing me to tape this. And if you haven't yet given to their one-day campaign, it's not too late. You can go to their website and do that as well. So thanks to all of you who've continue to support this vital ministry of Sabbath, of a place where we all get to rest and be in God's creation together. I hope you'll join me next Wednesday at 6 o'clock for our next Waterside Chat. May God bless you until then. Thanks for being here.